So, ladies and gentlemen, he is back. One of my favorite guests who pretty much gave us some of the most simple, beautiful, brilliant information about Vastu Shastra, which is, for some people it's known as feng shui of India. And today he's going to show us how to improve our career through Vastu, which is something even I would love to know. So please help me welcome Michael Mastro. Welcome, sir.
Thank you so much, Kapiel. It's my favorite topic to talk about Vastu, and I love helping people with their career. In fact, I was mostly based in Seattle most of my life, and I spent a lot of time at Microsoft. In fact, I actually designed the first Microsoft building using Vastu, and this is pretty old picture,
Wow.
old computer, and Bill Gates when he was much younger.
Yeah.
When we designed that first Microsoft building, we actually put Bill Gates in the southwest corner, his office. And whoever sleeps or sits in the southwest, as we talked a little bit about in the last interview, has more control because southwest is the earth element, and that's where you can command and be more organized for overseeing the whole company or the whole family. So I spent a lot of time at Oracle, Intel, Amazon, Microsoft, just helping people be more productive, more efficient, because a lot of people feel very stuck in their careers. Like they would really like to advance, but for some reason it's not happening. And so there are some simple things that we can look at within each person's office or even cubicle. I mean, like Intel, you walk in, huge building, as far as you can see, it's all cubicles. And at one time, I don't know if it's still true, the CEO, which I did Vastu for, even had a cubicle. So that may have changed. But anyway, so even within a cubicle, there are things we can do to improve the Vastu. And basically, we look at 7 different ways energy can get stuck. In feng shui and Vastu, the most important thing to do is keep energy flowing. Because if energy gets stuck, it creates some stress that affects some aspect of our career or business. I mean, everything I'm saying could be true of a car lot or, or an office.
Right.
So there are 7 different things, and we're going to go through each one. Alignment is very important, and Vastu is all about aligning your physical body and your office or your home with the forces of nature, the solar energy that comes from the east and the magnetic energy that comes from the north. And then obviously the placement of stoves and furnaces and fireplaces within a home, but in the office, it's the placement of your desk. It's the placement of things within your cubicle or office. And then the shape is very important because energy gets stuck if the shape is not rectangular. And I'm going to show you an example of even where there's a column in an office that changes the shape.
Okay.
And so let's just get to it. The other things are energy blocks, energy leaking out, finances, expenses leaking out, clutter, obviously. And then the last thing is the electromagnetic energies, which is something they talked about in the Vedas in terms of earth energies. So here's just a diagram of a simple office. And true north would be the top here. And so in this example, this office is not aligned to the cardinal directions. If it was aligned, then it would be, true north would be just this side. So it's not aligned. So what happens when an office is not aligned to the cardinal directions or the longitudinal, latitudinal lines is it doesn't get the support of nature. The energy field gets distorted. Our thinking is not as good as it could be. Our decisions get confused. So there are some yantras which can help restore that shape, and so there's some definitely things that we can do with that. but also the alignment of our desk is very, very important. And I've been involved in lots of double-blind studies where they take 100 kids with similar IQ, they have them study the same materials, take the same test, and they have them face different directions. North, 25 will face north, 25 will face east, 25 will face south, and 25 will face west. And what they find is very interesting. I'm just going to jump ahead here for a second. The kids that face north or east do about 20% better on the test. They are producing a alpha rhythm, which looks like this. It's just kind of a rolling line there.
Mm-hmm.
That it signifies creativity. Alpha rhythm is a harmonious brainwave, so they're peaking at their creativity. Whereas if they face south or west, it's more like peaks and valleys, a beta, a chaotic brainwave. They don't have the same stamina, focus, or concentration. So the other part of these studies, which is very interesting, it shows that if you're facing true north, you're doing, you're able to do analytical tasks much more easily, like math, like accounting and things like that. Left brain is activated by the magnetic energy from the north. And if you face true east, the solar energy from the east, then you get more creative kind of energy. It's very good for creativity. So basically, if you're doing anything artistic like cooking, playing music, meditating, all those different things, face true east. And if you want to do some more analytical stuff, face true north. So
I had a question about that. So let's say if I do astrology consultation and I'm facing, this is my true east from our last meeting that we had.
excellent.
So how is that, would it be much better to face north for that or to east?
So interesting. Astrology is analyzing somebody's chart, but you have to have your intuitive juices flowing. So it's a combination of both. And a lot of people, especially in cubicles, they don't have a choice maybe to face north or east. They got to pick one. So either one is fine. Either one will give you good productivity. I'm just giving examples so that if you have a situation where you have maybe an L-shaped desk like this, where you have possibility to face true north or true east.
Yeah.
So that's a nice possibility if you have one. But in this example I'm showing, a corner desk is the only possibility here, or you could put the corner desk in the north area.
Yeah.
Either one will be fine. And so alignment, very important. Placement of the desk is very important. And in feng shui and also in Vastu, it's desirable not to have the door to your back. It's better to have the wall. So behind you there, you have a bookcase. That's protecting you. Behind me, I have some windows that I've done remedies to correct that. But basically, it's better not to have doors or windows behind you. Now, if that's not possible, we always in Vastu, rather than feng shui, we want to face true north or true east. We take the door or windows or things like that at secondary value. So if you cannot face, if you do have the situation where the door is behind you and you don't feel protected, somebody's looking over your shoulder at your computer, then you can put a rear view mirror, they sell them on Amazon, on your computer, and that way you can see the door and you feel more protected. So there's always a solution for every situation. So those are the main things there. Then placement of other things within your office. All the positive prosperity comes in every room or every building through the northeast. Then it splits and it moves around and settles in the southwest. That's why putting Bill Gates in the southwest, he's getting all that positive energy that's building in the southwest. And so if you have windows or doors in the southwest, some of that energy will leak out and become expenses, unwanted expenses that you weren't counting on. So there are ways to set up energy barriers without blocking off a window or keeping the shades drawn to keep the prosperity in from leaking out. So expenses.
Okay, so I think this is my southwest direction where my window is.
Okay. And I have sent you some what we call energy correction devices.
Yeah, I think it's this one, right? The yellow?
Yes.
Yes, yes.
So what you would do is you would put one on each end of the window so they face each other.
Okay.
Once those two yantras see each other, then they set up an energetic barrier so that keeps the prosperity in from leaking out.
Because that is so true. When you said unexpected expected expenses, I mean, I'm just like always just holding my head. I'm like, why is this expense coming out of nowhere? Why? It's like my savings just keep depleting.
We have a lot of us have good income, and we're very intelligent, but we can't control the expenses going out. So in every office or house, all the south and the west windows,
Yeah.
Expenses if they're not corrected.
Okay.
The other thing that can happen is energy blocks. So here in this office, there are no windows on the north or the east walls. So there are yantras to attract that blocked magnetic or solar energy that would be feeding your prosperity. So there are ways to correct that. Now, also adding a fountain, a placement of a fountain in the northeast will improve energy flow. It'll, especially if you don't have any windows there.
No. Okay.
Again, northeast is water element. It's a growth of our spiritual nature and our finances. So a fountain there would be very, very helpful.
Okay.
And now the other thing that can happen is the shape. Now, if you have an L-shaped office, some energy is getting stuck. Just like if the water is flowing in a river and there's a bend in the river, what happens? Some of the water eddies, stagnates, and pollutes.
Yes.
And in an office, I find a lot of times there'll be a column, because these offices and their big spans of windows and things like that. So a column is, so the energy is coming in and it's splitting and it's moving around. And when it hits that column, it goes in an anti-clockwise motion. And if it's happening in the southeast corner, that southeast is your energy, your vitality, your productivity. So productivity goes down when you have something going on, like a toilet or water fountain or a fish tank in the southeast. It's reducing the fire. And just like this column is reducing the fire. So there are, again, using those correction devices I gave you, if you put one here and one here and one here and one here, then that column disappears. The room gets a little bit smaller, but no more energy is getting stuck. So those are shape. And then the other things we think about is clutter. Wherever you have clutter, I mean, I go into so many offices, people's papers are stacked up, and I had a really interesting picture of Trump's desk, but I'm afraid to show it because I don't want to offend anybody. But wherever you have clutter in your room, if you have it in the northeast, it's going to affect your profits, your finances. If you have it in the southeast, it will affect transactions not going through. Somebody signs up for an astrology consultation, but they don't pay, or they don't follow through. Things like that. And then if you have clutter in the southwest, that's the stability of your business. So one week you get a lot of consultations and the next week none. So the stability is affected by any kind of clutter in the southwest. Northwest is air element, and that has to do with our relationships. So if you have clutter there, then there's a lot of stress in the relationships, business relationships, personal relationships. And also repeat business has to do with Northwest. If somebody gets a consult from you and they never come back, then something blocking the Northwest. Now, in this situation here, there's no windows on the Northwest. So again, we use a yantra to attract that missing air element there. So those are that's just kind of going through the basics there. Just to kind of review again, Northwest is air, Northeast is water, southeast is fire, and southwest is earth. Now, the center of your office is the space element. That's where space is where water, fire, air, and earth come out of. So if you have clutter there in the center for some reason, or big heavy things in the center, this will block success on every level, career, you know, your all those different things. So here's how you could set up a cubicle or a desk, you know, for maximum productivity, maximum career advancement. So having something, your water bottle or a fountain in the Northeast, a Himalayan salt lamp, or your lamp to read in the South East, because that's the fire element. So we just want to support the elements in each direction. Southwest, having a plant, something of earth, a statue, Ganesh, something like that to remove the obstacles for your career. And then something that represents air in the Northwest. It could be a bell or chimes. A lot of people use pyramids to focus their energy. A crystal pyramid could be placed there as well. So here, this situation, you could face north for analytics and east for creativity. So
okay.
Yeah. And then also we want energy to flow in a kind of clockwise direction. So basically incoming things like mail that comes in, you put it in the north east, and then you're being productive. It moves to the southeast where you're working on it.
Okay.
And outgoing things like bills to pay go in the north.
So it's funny you said about the salt lamp. So let me show you. There's my salt lamp right there.
Okay.
Okay, and where I am right now sitting, this is south. So the lamp should be on this side then, not that side.
Southeast part of the room. So which would be?
This is south, this is southwest. That's southeast.
So over there. So maybe it's in the right spot, is it?
Oh, it is. Okay. Southeast. Oh, okay. Southeast. Yes, you are right. Okay, it is on the right spot.
Intuitively, you did the right thing. Perfect.
Okay. Good.
So yeah, so now if you're talking about the bigger office, you know, we can talk about placement. If you're designing a bigger office, I do a lot of offices for bigger offices for people. You know, the Northwest is a good place for sales staff and legal issues and paying bills and things like that. Accounting is good there. And if you want to decorate your office to support the elements, pictures of sky or clouds supporting the air element. Moon is related to the Northwest, so pictures of the moon. And if you want to use accent colors like light blue would be good.
Okay.
So the North is part of your bigger office, is good for planning and management. It's a good place to have a safe. Now, if you have a safe, you want to put it towards the south wall so that when the safe opens, it opens towards Kuber in the north. Then your money grows, or whatever's in the safe grows. If your safe is opening towards the south, then it's becoming reducing.
Okay.
You always want to open it and open it towards the north. And light green colors are good to accent there in the north because it's Mercury. Mercury is, you know, that greenish color. And Mercury has to do with prosperity for sure.
So like a north wall should be like a greenish color.
Yeah, if you wanted to paint it, or you could just use accent, a book or something, a picture on the wall that has green trees or something like that.
Okay.
Northeast is Jupiter. It's the water element. It's a good place for the entrance to your office. It's a good place for meditation room, puja, having a little altar set up. We can talk about altars in a minute, but it's very good to put pictures of ocean and streams or rivers or waterfalls there. That's supporting the water element. And if you want to accent colors, like your shirt there, the yellow color would be good.
Okay.
East is sun. Sun is orange colors, and it's good for research and development, and also legal issues. can be, legal department could be there. Pictures of sun would be good, especially if it's blocked and there's no windows there. Southeast is fire, and that's a good place for, coffee bar, bigger office or a kitchen, microwave, all those kinds of heating, lights, the electrical equipment for the office. And if you wanted to decorate it like light rose colors, or desert scenes, like a beautiful scene of a desert, like the Sierra Mountains or something like that.
Okay.
South is Mars, and so that's a good place for the cafeteria, pantry, also desert scenes and light rose colors. Southwest that's the best place for the CEO, whoever's managing, owner of the company, executive offices. And here in the Southwest, even in your desk, or your little part of your office, you want to keep in the Southwest things that are more assets, like your legal papers, your the papers for your home or office, assets, things like that you're not going to move around a lot. You want to keep fixed assets, taxes, things like that. Mountain scenes are good to decorate. Rahu's there in the Southwest. Earth tones are good. In the West, conference room is a very good place for that, because it has to do with, the communication and things like that. Mountain scenes are very good. Blue, that's your Saturn area of your office. In the center, like I've designed all the Microsoft buildings that I had to do with, there's an open kind of a courtyard in the center, and all the offices are around that open courtyard.
Yeah, kind of like the new Apple building too. There's like middle is just a garden and it's empty.
Yeah, and then in the northern hemisphere, you can't have it completely open, but you'll have skylights above or something.
Okay.
So NASA's done a lot. EMFs is one thing we haven't talked about, but the things that really help reduce the electromagnetic stress, which kind of wears on us, it'll fatigue us, it'll reduce our productivity, are plants, because they absorb the EMFs, they give off oxygen. And NASA did a lot of studies on different kinds of plants and how they can reduce the EMFs. But your Himalayan salt lamp also does that.
Okay.
Put a little bit of salt into the atmosphere, it reduces the stress, the electromagnetic stresses, as well as your fountain. The fountain in the Northeast,
yeah,
creating negative ions. Negative ions reduce EMFs, and they give us energy.
So on my Northwest, if you see, I got that plant right there. I don't know if you can see it.
Okay in the Northwest, but it would be even better in the South.
It'd be better where?
In the Southwest, because that's the earth element.
So right there.
Yeah.
That's Southwest.
Yeah.
Okay. I shall do that. Okay.
All right. Or you could have pictures of mountains. There's a painting there of Ganesh, right? That's very good, right?
Yeah, that's the elephant.
That's good. Yeah. Every elephant's a Ganesh. So basically, elephant brings strength and removes obstacles. So it's a very good
yes.
That in the Northwest. So just going over in review, some office tips: face north, face east for creativity, sales, and marketing. Face north for analyzing, accounting, things like that. Ideally, don't sit with your back to the door. If you have to, then use a rear view mirror or just a decorative mirror that you can just glance up and see who's at the door. We like to keep our desks, and you're a good example. You're not your desk is kind of more in the middle of the room. It's not up against a wall.
No.
If your desk is up against a wall, then it picks up electromagnetic stress from the wires in the wall. So we want to keep a little gap between any of the furniture and the walls.
Okay.
Obviously, avoid clutter in every area. We talked about that. Some people like round tables. What happens with a round shape is energy moves very fast. People get very vata, very spaced out, can't focus. So rectangular tables are better than oval or round. Obviously, we don't want to sit under a beam. Beams create cutting energy. So I've seen a lot of offices where there's a beam over somebody's head and they keep getting headaches and things like that. So yeah, we want to avoid that. Other things are, people always ask me, you know, which wall should the clock go on, or the calendar, or some people have these whiteboards where they're kind of planning out all the events and things like that. I mean, so those should be on the east or the north walls, because time will go very fast and nothing will get done if the clock is on the south or the west wall. But it will slow down and give you lots more control over your time if it's on the north or the east wall. Okay. And mirrors should also be on north or east walls, and not on the west walls. So you could set up an altar on your desk. And I've seen a lot of offices, we like to represent all 5 elements in each altar. And they, like in the north, if you have a little altar on your desk or near your desk, or in the northeast corner of your office, in the northeast part, you want something that has water. It could be a water bottle. It could be a fountain. And in the southeast, you want some kind of fire element. Now, I don't recommend putting candles in offices because it could cause lots of problems. Yeah. Even a battery-operated votive candle, you've seen these little votive candles that are...
Yeah, you see them in the restaurants, actually, that put them there, battery-operated.
That works just as well in the south. And then a bell or something that represents air in the northwest. It could be a feather or something like that. And in the southwest, a little Ganesh statue or a paperweight or a little pyramid will work. Something that represents earth. And in the very center of your altar, you put your intention. And you can do a little process where you write down, I want my career to advance, or I want to get this project done on time, or I want a raise. You put your intention on that piece of paper, you hold it to your heart, and you put the intention, you write it out like, I'm grateful for getting a raise. You put it in a positive tone, and you hold it to your heart, and you feel it in your body like that, wow, this has already happened. I've already got that raise. How does it feel in my body? Do I feel joyful, grateful, fulfilled? Feel that sense of fulfillment in every cell of your being. Then you place the piece of paper in the very center of the altar, and you chant Om Ganganapatiye 9 times with Gomukhi mudra. So each mudra moves energy in different ways. When you fold your 2 middle fingers in with your thumb, and your pointer finger and your baby finger point out, then you chant 9 times Om Ganganapatiye Namaha to remove the obstacles for that intention. You close your eyes, take a deep breath in, and then you give it to God. It's in God's hands to organize the fulfillment of that desire. So that's a simple altar that everybody can do. And I have thousands of people that swear that this has helped improve their career, just by setting that intention first thing in the morning when you come in your office, and then giving it to God, letting it go. So that, and then sitting in the southwest, obviously, and then in a conference room, you know, you want to face north or east. So be in the southwest area of that conference table to have more control over the conference. A lot of people ask about a waste basket. You don't want to have waste in the northeast. So northwest is a better place for garbage or the waste basket.
Okay.
So those are the simple tips. And then what I have found for all the people that are doing well in their career is 3 things. Reduce your stress in your mind and body through meditation, yoga, pranayama, exercise, drinking lots and lots of water, because we're in offices where there's all kinds of electromagnetic stress, and that helps reduce it. Reduce the stress in your home and workplace, your office, through the Vastu remedies we talked about. And then the astrology. get a reading from Kapiel or me or anybody to understand the map of your karma, that shows where your career is going and what you can do to improve it through planetary remedies. So those three things I think are very, very critical. And always remember to take a few minutes to meditate every day. You can do it at your desk. Nobody's going to be looking at you weird or anything like that. And then lastly, if anybody wants a online analysis for their home or their office, and you'll receive yantras just like Kapiel did, where to place them to improve your career, you can just sign up at vastucreations.com and use KRS for a 20% discount.
And you also have courses people can learn.
Yes, so we have the American Institute of Vastu, and thank you so much, Kapiel, for recommending Mo. And
yeah, my best friend is now his official student, and he's learning Vastu under the best person out there. So I'm glad.
Yeah, so you can go to AmericanInstituteofVastu.com, and that we have the courses to train you to do what I do, and you can help lots and lots of people, including yourself. Improve their career.
Exactly. Thank you so much, Michael. I just love whenever you come. It just because it helps me practically. It helps other people practically. Like you can make changes right away.
Yeah, and it's wonderful how it's so connected to the astrology.
Yes.
Ayurveda and all, they're all so interconnected. So I think it's really valuable for all your people that are watching all over the world to have a little bit of knowledge about Vastu. When they're planning their home or their office and things like that.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Michael.
Thank you so much, Kapiel. Take care.
Bye-bye.